talking to Tim Kollowitz, the Labor candidate for Riverina. Welcome to Carra, Tim.
Thanks for having me back here again.
That's right, you've been in Carra a few times.
I have, yes.
Along with all the other many towns in the new Riverina Electorate, which now looks a little bit like Casper the Coast, doesn't it?
That's not bad. That's not far off. You know? And to travel around it, you sort of take the trajectory of a pinball. You sort of that's right. But,
how have you found the election so far, the campaign so far?
Look, it's a really good thing to travel around and ask people what they believe would make their community a better place, and that's really the function of a candidate. And I've had 4 months of doing that now. I've been going for twice as long as Malcolm Turnbull, so I won't hear any complaints from him or anybody else.
They're having the flu.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, it's been a remarkable time. I've talked to thousands of individuals,
right?
And been out at the front of schools, out the front of shopping centres.
All over the place.
All over the place.
Lots of handshaking, lots of baby kissing, all that stuff. Yep.
As we were discussing this morning, no joke, the Department of Health sent out a health watch to all candidates saying, please be careful, you are a health risk with all your handshaking, and don't kiss babies. So,
talking about health,
yes.
Now the health policy from the Labor Party is to re-inject funds into the health system.
Massive amounts of funds. I mean, the cuts to the health system that happened in 2014 were staggering. $57 billion cut from hospitals, and a 6-year freeze on the Medicare rebate, which means going to the doctor increases every year.
That's often characterised by GP tax by stealth, isn't it?
That's right. That's a good way of putting it. They tried to do it up front and charge you directly. When that didn't work, they've instead done it without legislation. They've just frozen the rebate so that doctors their costs go up. But
initially, that was a Labor for a temporary measure, wasn't it?
Well, that's right. It was frozen for about 9 months in 2013, in a year that Labor was trying to do something quite extraordinary, which was to actually reduce the size of government so that we could really responsibly pay off government debt. It was never meant to be more than for a few months. It achieved its purpose, but to be extended by 6 years, that's
starting to get a bit ordinary.
It's a very big difference. Yeah.
And with schools, they're talking about fully funding the Gonski.
That's right.
Yep.
This is our big election promise. It's worth $37 billion, which is a lot of money.
Over a reasonable amount of time.
Over 10 years. But it's $211 million in our electorate alone. So you're looking at about $1 million per school in our electorate, which is huge.
The alternative, though, with the coalition government, is that $200 million doesn't happen.
A small portion of it will. They've honoured the first 2 years, but then after that it disappears completely. We're honouring 10 years and in perpetuity. We want to see this bedded down as the way we fund schools in Australia.
And Medicare, of course, is the big moment.
I mean, the coalition have been. You look at they've got form on Medicare. They have been, every time they've taken government, they've cut funding to health, and they've tried to cut Medicare, and of course they've savagely made savage cuts.
It's one of the iconic legacies of Labor was Medicare.
That's right. And we're still fighting tooth and nail for it.
To keep it.
All these years later, 30 odd years later.
That's right. And so, at the what do you expect to happen should the coalition get in? Will Medicare be privatised, do you think?
I think there's no doubt whatsoever that they'll be looking at, we really caught them out on trying to privatise the payment system, and they've made this rushed promise now not to do that. But there's no doubt that they'll be looking to shave government funding out of Medicare in a big way. And if you don't believe me, look at what they've done for the last 3 years. Look at what they did for during the Howard years as well.
You always look at form on the board if you get to back a racehorse, don't you?
You couldn't have said it better myself. Unfortunately, the coalition have not been Labor's friends, and you can ask any impartial expert you like, and they'll tell you the same thing. The Australian Medical Association, which does not normally associate itself with the left side of politics, has been scathing in its criticism of what the coalition's done.
Now, where are you going to be next Saturday, Tim?
Everywhere?
Everywhere but nowhere.
That's right, we've got 84 booths.
Yep.
I promise I won't get to them all, but I'll get to at least a dozen of them.
Right.
I think at this stage probably, I know I've got a booth locked in Gundagai.
Yep.
Probably a couple of country booths around there. Who
Yep.
knows?
Who knows? Just go as far as you can for the day.
That's right.
That's right. Well, all the best in your quest. Obviously, your chances aren't huge.
Look, it's definitely an uphill battle. It's a fighting. It is a fighting chance. But I guess the big thing that is really the case is that there's just no such thing as a rusted-on voter anymore. There's no such thing as a safe seat. And I've been working so hard because I really believe that communities here are disappointed in what the Nationals have done for them. They're disappointed about that the Nationals aren't backing them on Medicare and on schools. So,
and on hospitals, of course.
And of course NBN. The
and
most
the NBN.
important thing for regional Australia in a century. And we could be stuck with rusty copper if we're not careful.
It's often said that with the NBN and a highway over the mountains, all of New South Wales will be opened up.
This is, we've talked about the tyranny of distance. That's been the cursed part of country life in Australia. This is how you kill it. This is how you bridge it. And there's nothing that'll do it better than putting in internet here that's just as fast as it is in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
at the moment, we're a bit behind a stack of third world countries.
As an internet business, I can't wait for it to happen.
I'll bet.
I think we've had 2 offers of 18 months so far.
Yeah.
So that's for 3 years. One day.
One day sooner. And I'm certainly hoping if Labor's elected, one thing that you can count on is that there'll be fibre coming to your premises, and that's a really big thing.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thanks
and
for having me.
all the best for Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.